Welcome to Miss STEMtastic. This channel follows the full Year 7 maths curriculum taught in UK schools. Each lesson is explained step by step with clear examples and practice to help you build confidence in maths. Whether you're revising, catching up or learning ahead, you are in the right place. Let's begin today's lesson on finding factors and multiples. I want you to pause the screen now and have a attempt at these 5 questions based on previous learning. Okay, let's quickly run through the answers. So 2.7 times 1.56 gives us an answer of 4.212. 160 divided by 4 is 40. Round 26.674 to one decimal place is 26.7. And 4 cubed is 64. And the cube root of 125 is 5. If you are unsure about any of these answers, please refer back to one of my earlier videos. In today's lesson, we are going to list all the factors and multiples of a number. So, what is a factor and what is a multiple? So, when do we use factors and when do we use multiples, and how can we work out how to find factors? Now, factors and multiples are two things that you're probably already familiar with, but you haven't really thought about it in this context. So, let's go ahead and have a look at them. So, a factor is a number which divides into another number exactly with no remainders. So say for example your timetables, if you've got 3 times 4 is equal to 12, both 3 and 4 are factors of 12 because both of them divide exactly into 12. So 12 divided by 4 is 3 with no remainders, so therefore 3 and 4 are both factors of 12. A multiple of a number is a number in its timetable. So pretty much every single number has multiples. So let's take the 3 times table for example. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, so forth. So 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12. All of these numbers are multiples of 3. So every single number has multiples because you can multiply it like 1 times that number, 2 times that number, and so forth. Let's write down all the factors of 10 using number bonds. So 1 times 10 is 10, 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 3 doesn't go into 10 exactly, we've got remainder of 1, 3 times 3 is 9, a remainder 1, 4 doesn't go either, so 4 times 2 is 8 with remainder 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. So I'm just going to draw the line there because 5 times 2 is the same as 2 times 5. So whenever your number bond repeats itself, like in this case 5 times 2 and 2 times 5 are the same, always stop because you found all the factors for that range. So 1, 10, 2 and 5, these are the 4 factors of 10, and then I can just write them out separately here next to the question. So write down all the factors of 10, and they are 1, 2, 5 and 10. Okay, so now we will write down all the factors of 28, and just like before, we will use the number bonds up to 28. So 1 times 28 is 28. 2 times 14 gives us 28 too. 3 times 9 is 27, so we will have a remainder of 1, so that doesn't fit in. 4 times 7 will give us 28. And then 5 times 6 is 30, and 5 times 5 is 25, so that doesn't fit in, neither does 6. And then 7 times 4 is 28, and we've just repeated ourselves. So that's where we will stop. So the factors of 28 are 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, and 28. So they are all the factors that multiply. These are all the numbers that multiply or divide into 28 exactly without any remainder. And we could just write them separately out in order. So 1, 2, 4, 7, 14 and 28. Okay, let's go ahead and list the first 5 multiples of 4. So this is basically our 4 times table. So starting off with 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, and 5 times 4 is 20. These are the first 5 multiples of 4. So list the even multiples of 9. So I'm going to stop at 90. And I'm going to initially write down 9 times table. So 1 times 9 is 9, 2 times 9 is 18, 3 times 9 is 27, 4 times 9 is 36, 5 times 9 is 45, sorry, and 6 times 9 is 54, 7 times 9 is 63, 8 times 9 is 72, 9 times 9 is 81, and 10 times 9 is 90. So now I am going to quickly skim through these numbers and circle all the ones that are even. So 9 is odd, 18 is even, 27 is odd, 36 is even, 45 is odd, 54 is even, 63 is odd, 72 is even, 81 is odd, and 90 is even. So now we can just write these out in a list. You might get a question where you're asked to write a even number, an even number, and that's fine. You might be asked to write the first 2 or 3 even multiples of a number, and I would use the same method as I've just done now. And the reason for that is if you try to do it in your head, you're more likely to make a mistake. Okay, I'd like you to pause the screen now and have a go at this question by yourself. Okay, let's go through it now. So write down all the factors are 20. So we'll start off with 1 times 20 is 20, 2 times 10 is 20, 3 does not fit into 20 exactly, 4 times 5 is equal to 20, and 5 times 4 is 20. And since 5 times 4 is the same as 4 times 5, we will stop there. Let's highlight all the factors: 1, 20, 2, 10, 4, and 5. And we can just write them out in a row at the top. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. So I'd like you to pause the screen now and have a go at these questions. List the first 5 multiples of 9. This is basically your 9 times table. So go ahead and write down the first 5 multiples of 9, 9, 18, 27, 36, and 45. Please pause the screen and try the next question. So write down 2 factors of 25. So this is 1 times 25 is 25. And you also got another set which is 5 times 5 is 25. And because 5 repeats itself, we just count that as one factor. So you could write any of those 2. You could write 1, 25, or 5, any 2 of those 3. Now please pause the screen and have a go at the next question. Write down an even multiple of 7. So 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 14 is even, so that could be one possible answer. And then 28 or any other multiple of 7 that is an even number. So please pause the screen and have a go at the next question. Write down an odd multiple of 5. So this is the opposite of question 4. So 5 is probably the first one that will come into your mind because 1 times 5 is 5 and that is odd. I'd like you to pause the screen now and have a go at the fluency task. Okay, again pause the screen and mark your answers please. So I've now got the super challenge. You've got 4 questions. Pause the screen and have a go at them please. Okay, let's go through them. So a light flashes every 8 seconds. How many times will it flash in 3 minutes? So 3 times 60 seconds is 180 seconds. So now I'm going to write all the multiples of 8 until I get to 180 seconds. If my final multiple is just over 180, I will not include that because we're looking for all the times it flashes within this time period. So even if the last multiple of 8 is, for example, 170 something, then that's the one I will include. I cannot include the one that stops at that flashes at 182, for example, because that is greater than 180. So once I've done that, I'm going to count all the multiples of 8 that fit within the time period of 180 seconds. And that will tell me how many times the light flashes in 3 minutes. So my last number is 176. If I add another 8 to that, that would become 184, and that is greater than 180 seconds. So let's go ahead and count these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I've got 22 numbers, so that means the light flashes 22 times within that time period. Find the smallest number over 200 that is a multiple of 6. I am not going to write all the multiples of 6 until I get to 200. Instead, I will use the bus stop method to work out how many 6s I can fit into 200. So using the bus stop method will give me an answer of 33 point something. So I'm going to ignore the decimal point. I'm going to take the 33 and multiply by 6. So this will tell me how many times the 6 fits into 200. And then I can just add 1 6 to that to find the smallest number over 200 that is a multiple of 6. So 198 times plus 6 is 204. Here's a list of numbers 21, 25, 30 and 45. Which number is the odd one out and why? So looking at those 4 numbers, I would say 25, 30 and 45 are all multiples of 5. So therefore 21 isn't, so therefore 21 is the odd one out. From question 4, which one is the odd one out? If you look at those numbers carefully, 28 is the only one that is not a multiple of 3. So therefore 28 is the odd one out. Pause the screen whilst you work through the exit ticket. I will now put the answers on the screen. Well done. If this lesson helped you, please subscribe to Miss Namtastic for the full Year 7 Maths curriculum. Keep practicing using the questions from this lesson and move on to the next video when you are ready. See you in the next lesson. Bye.